guys, today we're going to be solving problems using the percent proportion. In the percent proportion, I'm taking the part over the whole, the ratio a part over a whole, and making it equal to the ratio of my percent over 100, because percent is always out of 100. So imagine your teacher gives you a quiz back, and at the top of the quiz, she's marked that you got 27 out of 30. 27 is your part out of a total of 30. And to find your percentage, you would make an equivalent ratio that's out of 100. And together those two ratios make a proportion. As a shortcut, when we're doing percent problems and we see a number and we're wondering if that number represents the part or the whole, we can look for some key words. The keyword is usually accompanies our part, while the keyword of accompanies our whole. We usually say out of, and that signifies it's our whole or our total. The percentage is always over 100, all percentages that are out of 100. Notice the number 100 never changes in the percent proportion. This number will always be 100, that's a given. So let's try actually solving a problem. So here we're finding a percent. It wants to know what percent of 15 is 12. So to start us off, we're going to set up our proportion with the number 100 right here. This 100 never changes. So it says what percent of 15, so I know 15 is my total because it's accompanied by this word of, it's out of 15. So that's going to go right here. And it says is 12. 12 is my part. So I can put any variable here, but I'm going to put p since I'm missing the percent. So I'm solving for p. I'm going to use cross products here to find my answer for p. So 15 times p equals 12 times 100. So 15p equals 1,200. I'm going to divide both sides by 15 to solve for p, and I get p equals 80. So my missing percentage there is 80%. So 12 out of 15 represents 80%. The proportion can be also used to find other things besides just your percentage. Here we're going to try to find a part. So once again, I'm going to set up my proportion with 100 down here. They want to know what number is 36% of 50. Well, 36% has the percent sign. This is my percentage that's always out of 100. And they want to know what number is 36% of 50. It's out of 50. So 50 is my total. And it's the part that I'm trying to find. So once again, I'm going to use my cross products. So 100 times x equals 50 times 36. So 100x equals 1,800. If I divide both sides by 100 to solve for x, I get x equals 18. So 18 out of 50 represents 36%. Let's try one where we're finding the whole. So once again, I'll set up my proportion. It's always out of 100. This time they want 150% of what number is 24? Well, 150 represents my percentage. It has a percent sign, so it's always going to be out of 100. And they want to know 150% of what number is 24? This is telling me 24 is my part. So this time I'm missing the total or the whole. So I'm going to use my cross products again. So y times 150 equals 24 times 100. So 150y equals 2,400. If I divide both sides by 150 to solve for y, I find that y is 16. So if I get 24 out of 16, I'm at 150%. We can also use the percent proportion to solve real life problems. So here we have a bar graph showing the strength of different tornadoes that occurred in Alabama in the year 2011. They want to know what percent of the tornadoes were classified as EF1s. So EF0s are the types of tornadoes that do the least amount of damage, with EF5s doing the most damage. So we're looking for the percentage of EF1s. So first, I looked at this graph and I realized I needed to know how many tornadoes occurred in Alabama in 2011. I had 36 EF0s, 58 EF1s, 29 EF2s, 13 EF3s, 7 EF4s, and 2 EF5s. So I totaled that up for a grand total of 145. So this is my whole, or my total. So when I'm setting up my percent proportion, I know it's out of 145. This 100 never changes. Now I'm only looking for the number of EF1s, which was 58. That is my part. And I'm trying to find the percentage here. So once again, I'm going to use my cross products. So I've got 145 times P equals 58 times 100. So 145P equals 5,800. I'm going to divide both sides by 145. And I get for my answer of P, 40, which means 40% of the tornadoes that occurred in Alabama in 2011 were considered EF1s.